Hello friends, welcome to Programming with Rakesh. And in this video, I am going to share some of the common interview questions that are asked for Angular. So let us start this video. So the first question that is being asked is, what is Angular and how does it differ from Angular JS? So the answer are different, but the most common way to answer this is Angular is a popular open source web application framework developed by Google. It is commonly referred to as Angular 2 plus, or you can simply call it Angular. The next one, Angular JS, is the earlier version of Angular. It is often called Angular 1. The main difference is that Angular uses a component based architecture and it is written in TypeScript, whereas Angular JS is written in JavaScript. Using TypeScript makes it more modular and maintainable compared to the Angular JS. Okay, so this is the first question. Let's move to the next question. So the next common question that is being asked is, what are Angular components and how do they work? So this is very common question and everyone who is using Angular must know it. So Angular components are the building blocks of Angular application. They consist of TypeScript classes. Now, these TypeScript classes represent the component's logic and an HTML template, which defined its view. Components are responsible for handling user interactions, data processing, and rendering content on the web page. They promote code reusability and maintainability by encapsulating specific features or UI elements. So, Angular components are very important because they are the basic building blocks of Angular. Let's move to the next question. The third question is, what is data binding in Angular and how does it work? So, data binding is basically a powerful feature that allows us to establish a connection between components data, which is called the model, and the HTML view. So, from data to the view, or from the view to the data, if we use to send something, we use data binding. So there are two main types of data binding. One is called one-way binding and the second is two-way binding. In one-way binding, data either flow from the component to the view, which is called interpolation, or from the view to the component, which is called event binding. And in two-way binding, it combines one-way binding from the component to the view and vice versa. So if you change something in the view, it will change in the component. And if you change something in the component, it will change in the view. So this is called two-way binding. So data binding reduces the need for manual DOM manipulation and simplifies the development process. Let's move to the next fourth question. What is Angular CLI and why it is useful? So Angular CLI, the full form is command line interface for CLI. It is a command line tool provided by Angular for creating, building, testing, and deploying Angular applications. It simplifies various development tasks such as generating components, services, and modules, setting up a development server, and optimizing production builds. Angular CLI boosts productivity by automating common development workflows, making it essential tool for Angular developers. So I hope this is clear. And the fifth question, which is mostly asked, is what are Angular directives and can you give some examples? So Angular directives are basically special markers in the HTML. So we are going to use the directives inside HTML tags. Now, this Angular directive tells Angular to do something with a DOM element, document object model element. So let us see common Angular directives here. The first one is ngIf. So ngIf basically conditionally adds or removes elements from the DOM based on a Boolean expression. For example, if you see here div ngIf show element, if show element property is true, this div will be shown, otherwise it will not be shown. If you want to repeat something, we can use ng for directive, which will repeat a particular array or something a number of times. For example, in this tag, in this HTML, we are trying to iterate over the items property, which is an array. Now, all the items in that array are repeated using ng for directive. Next one is ng style. Now, if you want to dynamically provide styles, then you can use ng style. So based on the value of text color here, the color will be updated. If the text color is having a red color, then the color becomes red. If it is dynamically coming as a blue, it will change it to blue. Same way, we can change the font size. Same as ng style, we can implement ng class where we can dynamically add or remove classes. So if the is active property here is true, we will apply this active class in this particular div. Same way, if is important is true, then this important class will be applied in this particular div. So I hope these 5 question answers are clear to you. And if you like this video and if you want to see my other videos, please subscribe my channel. That will give me some confidence, and I will meet you in the next video. Thank you very much.